Good morning, I am Tracy Spence with your newscast. This newscast is brought to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join Belivin. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repairs, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 9:30 a.m. on Saturdays 7 p.m. and at 12 noon on Sundays. And the Supreme Power Homes, call them at 800-493-9002. Now for the news in details. Attorney Bert Samuel says the Jamaican government has no recourse but to accept the deportees. He was responding to an argument presented by immigration attorney Jacqueline McKenzie that the Holness administration has not pointed to any law which requires it to accept deported persons from the United Kingdom. In an interview with reporters, Mr. Samuels said the government is obligated to allow the deportees entry. 13 Jamaicans arrived on the island Wednesday morning after being deported from the United Kingdom. The group landed at the Norman Manley International Airport shortly after 7:30. The Jamaicans, all males, are being housed at the Olympia Crown Hotel in Malines Road in Kingston. Jamaica's Minister of Housing, Urban Renewal, Environment and Climate Change, Pernell Charles Jr., says he will be making announcements shortly on the third phase of the government's ban on single-use plastic, which takes effect in January 2021. This phase will incorporate single-use plastic bags with dimensions above 24.24 inches and a thickness of 2.5 mils. He was speaking on the first day of the inaugural three-day plastic waste management conference held virtually earlier this week. Phase 1 of the ban, which took effect on January 2019, was on the importation, manufacture, distribution, and use of specific types of single-use plastic carriers below 25-gallon capacity packaging, while the second phase, which was effected in January of this year, was on the polystyrene foam. Charles Jr. said that despite some initial hesitation, the response from the business sector to the ban has been overwhelmingly positive. The initiative, to be implemented by Recycling Partners Jamaica Limited, is intended to reduce littering and encourage recycling. Meanwhile, opposition leader Mark Golden has brushed aside assurances from Jamaica's Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark that the annual drawdown of US $11.4 billion from the National Housing Trust (NHT) to prop up the national budget does not significantly impact housing starts in Jamaica, in particular affordable housing. Golden, who was responding to Clark's announcement in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, said the government was extending the measures up to 2025 to help in the economic recovery from the fallout caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, said the minister's assurances made no sense. Golden expressed that the extension of the $11.4 billion drawdown by 5 years will mean 13 straight years of extractions of smaller sums from a state entity tasked with providing housing solutions to contributors, many of whom never receive such a benefit. In sports, Garth Gale is the new president of the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, J3A, after a landslide victory at the elections held at the National Arena on Saturday. He defeated independent challenger, Olympian, and legendary former sprinter Donald Quarry by 236 to 28 votes. Gale's entire slate was elected by Marie Tavers, beat Anthony Dias 210 to 50 to become honorary secretary, while for the post of director of records, Leroy Cook had a narrow 135-121 win over Wayne Long. Gale takes over from Dr. Warren Blake, who served 2 full terms at the helm and did not seek re-election. Each term lasts 4 years. That is it for the news. This newscast came to you courtesy of BioLife Energy Systems. Come join the living. Call them at 800-875-5433. USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. You may call them at 800-786-1330. Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration, weekdays 8:30 a.m. on Saturdays 7 p.m. and 12 noon on Sundays. And the Supreme Power Homes, call them at 800-493-9002. On behalf of the news and the production team, I am Tracy Spence. Do have a good morning.